So my name is Felipe Longe, and I'm working at SportAI.
Could you kind of break down the...
Quickly.
Not quickly, do it as long as you take, because I think you're great.
Just starting a company, just doing it. So we want to empower other developers to create their own products. So the most technically kind of hard thing we've done at SportAI. The thing that led to SportAI, I think, was that I worked with Egilson on a product called 7.6. So I developed the app there, and that was a tennis technique app. So I love doing that on the spare time. But I was also kind of, I just had like 10 years with chess, and that's also sports tech. I mean, chess is also a sport, you know. So I kind of merged that background with 7.6. And also I had this, co-founded this consulting company that did mostly computer vision. So I had the AI people I needed to kind of bring into this fantastic team.
Super cool. I want to jump more into the team as well later, but let's kind of talk about the first prototype of the tennis technique app.
The first prototype for the tennis app, that was actually developed in another company. So one called 7.6. And this was the founder, Egilson. He's like a tennis nerd deluxe. And he had this vision of, okay, I think AI at this point is good enough to actually extract valuable post data and do the analysis that we want to need. Yeah, so I made that app for him. At the point, I had these machine learning consultants at my disposal, because I was CEO in a small company that did consulting, and we actually developed that for him. Oh fuck, this is good. This is taking forever. I need to shorten down my answers.
But what about...
It's complicated. My life is complicated. There are no simple answers.
Let's talk about the technical stuff, because that's at least something that interested me quite a bit when I read through your presentation and kind of the things around that. Could you kind of break down the...
Quickly.
Not quickly. Do it as long as you take, because I think you're great, and I think it is important to get to the substance of things as well, not only the superficial parts.
Yeah.
But could you tell us about the bathroom bug?
The bathroom bug. Okay, so at SportAI we have to analyze everything that's in a video feed, and you have these smart courts that are video enabled, and they capture kind of the whole court and all of the activity going on, and we want to AI enable those, right? So yeah, and obviously when you want to do all of these AI, kind of track all of the AI things, you encounter unexpected challenges. And one of them, when we were going to track people, we noticed that people were sometimes disappearing from the court and coming back again. And I mean, we maybe didn't expect that to happen that often, so sometimes it makes sense. They kind of go off camera and they come back with some other clothing. That was a bit unexpected. I thought maybe they would just play with one shirt, but of course you maybe want to do some warm-up and then change. But sometimes they were away for a while and they came back and they just went into the same kind of configuration in the team. So I think those are toilet breaks, to be honest. We had a theory, like we tried to figure out like the average time spent in the toilet and maybe hard code that for the time being at some point. But we figured out we had to do something more advanced, so we went with re-identification instead.
So it isn't just kind of the bathroom bug, as I've called it, but also like the change of clothes bug.
Yeah, there are so many challenges. One would think that like tracking players on a screen is kind of not that sophisticated. There are many models that can do that, right? But you know, it's a bit more, it's a bit harder than that in our case. People come to the court. Sometimes there are like 8 friends and they want to play in different team configurations. You could, some of the courts are actually not recording the corners because the camera angle is not kind of really well placed. So yeah, they disappear and they reappear, and you have these complexities of looking at one player from the back and then from the front, right? And the clothing could kind of vary if you have some sort of logo on the back or some writing. So there's so many. Mostly people have faces on the front and not on the back, for instance. So there are variations that you will encounter, and all of these things need to be handled. So that's why we had to implement re-identification, and not just a regular re-identification, but we had to tweak it so it works for our cases.
But it is quite fascinating. Like, we had somewhat of a similar transcription error quite a while back when I was working on that. And this issue is a bit recurring in AI, that you need to identify someone and keep that kind of consistency. But here, if the characteristics that are important to measure that change as well, of course that's a more difficult problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you end up basically tracking it with the steps that they're taking, or how did you ID people?
Okay, so yeah, first of all, we have a really simple pose detector that kind of tracks the bounding boxes, right? Yeah. So that's easy. But the problem is that these tracks, they overlap, and they have the players walk in front of each other and stuff like that. There could be obstacles. There could be a lot of stuff happening. So then that's where, okay, we figured out we need to re-identify. So we tried an embedding model, and that was better, but it still sucked, to be honest. So we had to go a bit further and kind of, okay, we have a pose detector, so we know if people are looking at the camera, we know if they're standing and looking in the front, or if we're looking at them in the back, so we can at least segment that data. And then we know who is near the camera, we know who's further away. So we kind of had to build some logic on top of it to kind of counter all of these things. And I feel like that is a recurring theme along everything that we've built. It to get to a place where it's working 70, 80, 90, even 90%, it can be easy, but then it's all about those details, and to be able to have someone actually use this, it needs to be at a certain point, but it doesn't need to be 100%. And that's the cool thing, at the place we are today with AI, things don't necessarily need to work at 100%, and that's something that I think is exciting at this point in time.
It's like crossing the threshold of close enough.
Yeah, close enough. And that could change in the future, I think, when all these models become more generalized. And I don't know how, maybe that won't be as fun as the stuff that we're doing now.
I mean, could you tell me quickly again? Because I think one thing that I didn't really catch in the research is that you're mainly a platform provider in a sense. You provide the data that then application layers can build on top of to some extent, right?
Yeah. So first and foremost, we're a cloud API. So it's a SaaS platform, B2B. So we want to empower other developers to create their own products. And we can offer a bit of white labeling, but ideally we focus on the platform and we do what we do best, which is AI, and they do what they do best, which is their kind of product.
I want to jump to kind of what's the most technically challenging thing that you've done in SportAI so far is.
Oh, shit.
And not only you, the team as well.
Yeah, so the most technically kind of hard thing we've done at SportAI, I think, is the 3D pose estimation. That's a tough one, and I think although we have a really good one right now, the whole team knows how to improve that and how to get it to an even better state, and we're so eager to do it. But it's all about that. Okay, some things are kind of good enough for now, but still it's in the back of everyone's head. We have so many ideas, and I feel like this is all of these hard challenges. That's the fun part. That's why we do what we do, because it's so fun to be creative and then find these solutions. And when you actually try them out and they suck, that's also fun. But it's even more fun when they work, and it's very rewarding.
Please break that down as well. What is post detection and why is that a difficult problem?
Yeah, so for our use, we want to empower smart courts, which are mostly consist of one camera. And that camera covers the whole court and covers all the players, and in some cases doesn't have great resolution and so forth. And from that feed, we need to do post estimation to have biomechanical understanding of the players on the court. So with that biomechanical understanding, you could say something objective about their technique. So with 3D pose estimation, you could just with one camera create a 3D biomechanical representation of the player, and that really empowers you to do proper technique analysis.
And that's even like from a single picture, you can create a 3D space of everything that's going on with the player.
These models are temporal, so you have to kind of not only one picture, but yeah.
Okay, but that's how you get like some approximation of like legs and like things like that. So it's not.
So it's trained on a massive amount of data. So at the end of the day, it's kind of statistical, but it kind of understands maybe not, maybe intrinsically the anatomical movement at the end, right? If you have enough data.
Because I looked through it and like I saw, I think his name is Tord, who made Stockfish. So, and then there's like another guy who's like a physics PhD, and then you have like industrial designer. Like, could you just tell kind of the audience in this sense, like how do you put together like a multidisciplinary team and really get the most to like solving problems that really haven't been solved before?
So the SportAI team consists of a very multidisciplinary, brainy bunch of people. We've kind of, with Tord Romstad, for instance, that made Stockfish, he, or the first author of Stockfish, there were many joined him, we got to know each other at Play Magnus, so both of us were very early in at Play Magnus, so we worked together for, I don't know, countless of years, at least 8 years. So we brought him into SportAI, of course. He's a mathematical genius, so he fits right in. And we also have people like Martin Hovin. He's fantastic. He's our lead AI developer, and he's super creative and always finds solutions, and kind of has this amazing computer vision background from Hudley. I think he was a key employee at Hudley. So among that, we also recruited Daniel quite early on. He has so many citations on his PhD papers work that I think it's crossed like 300 citations now. So you kind of throw the hardest problems at him, and you will get some results.
Cool. What do you think about, like, what would be kind of your strategy for not necessarily managing these people, but like, how do you get the most out of a team like that that has so many different like pieces of the puzzle to build something super great?
Okay, so I think so to get the best out of the people at SportAI, but I think almost any team, my philosophy is a bit more like to embrace the differences, the different personalities, different ways of doing things, and also giving them like agency, so a lot of responsibility. I think most people, they like the freedom to work whenever they want and however they want, and have the tooling and all of the stuff. And as long as they're doing something that they're passionate about, I don't feel like we have to have a very like strong management system. It just goes almost autonomous. And the cool thing is that they kind of know that they have a lot of responsibility in that way. So they kind of embrace it. I think I'm probably the most useless piece of the puzzle in that sense.
I mean, certainly not, but it is kind of a cool way to look at it. I think for me, when I've worked in these types of teams where there is a lot of freedom, for me it always like felt like it wasn't necessarily, it didn't feel like work, it didn't feel like something that I was kind of forced to do. So it's kind of like this type of approach, like freedom-based and...
The freedom-based approach is you have to do the right recruiting, right? So you have to get the people that thrive in that environment, that are good at taking responsibility, that embrace it, and that are kind of, they dare to go the extra mile when it's needed, and they kind of trust themselves to do that. So I think it's... but it's not always like a certain personality, it's just some kind of fire that exists within you. And I think you can find, I think everyone can find that kind of desire to do to be like that if they're working with what they like in life, like what they're if they find their calling.
Cool. What's your kind of advice for people that are interested to work in, I want to say, like more interesting industries, right? There's a lot of kind of technical talent in Norway that go into consulting and like work for Aker BP or like these types of companies. Not to like single them out necessarily. What's your kind of advice for people that kind of see things going on maybe in Silicon Valley or in London about kind of really technical challenges like being like fought over?
Yeah, I think I'm probably a bit biased, but starting your career at a consulting company is probably okay. Like I did that with Capgemini, and I really loved those 2 years I had there. It kind of created some base structure. But if you kind of feel that you want to create something for yourself, or be kind of one of the founders, be one of the brains behind the whole product, then I think just starting a company, just doing it, and do it as early as possible when you have the when you have the opportunity to not have the resources. And I think that to just jump into it is a great thing to do, and it's just perfect timing now with all the AI tools available, I think. But also the AI tools can kind of trick you a bit. You might think that everything is easy now and done very quickly, but I don't know. I think the requirements now are also higher because people kind of expect more from digital products. So I think that there will be those things will be aligned, and kind of I don't think we'll have developers for a long time.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, what's your kind of guess on like where things are going? Do you feel like of course the kind of LLM thing that's come up in the last like couple of years has been like super explosive.
Yeah.
And then like I feel like a lot of the computer vision stuff was like really moving in like 2015, 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
How do you feel the development of like video models, like not Gen AI, are going now?
So I think computer vision is past the hype, right? So it's come to a point where it's matured and you can actually build the production-ready stuff. I think generative AI is not past its hype, but it's not only hype; it's actually very useful. And I think the reasoning models have kind of leveled it up, and you kind of see impressive things going on there all the time. So I think maybe this hype train is something different. I have a feeling that this one is actually different. But then again, that's what hype is all about. I think that although these are powerful tools that you can use to enhance whatever you're doing, basically, because it's so generic, I think still there's a big role to play for us developers, and there are a lot of problems that will not be solved by generative AI. It has, believe it or not, it also has its limitations, and it will take time to kind of get there. So, for instance, we get a bit of this. So don't you think like you could basically upload a video into ChatGPT and it could do what SportAI can do like within the next year? We get a lot of those things, and I think like. I'm not in a position to say that will never happen, but I think that it's highly unlikely. Like a large language model will not drive a car, even not like a multimodal will drive a car in the nearest future. There are things that you actually want to do better than humans in a way. So you want to be more than generalized. So sometimes you actually want to go beyond that. You want to be super specialized. And in those cases, I think something like SportAI will have a place in the future.
Super cool. It's basically like the Stripe for getting the data from sports.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
No problem. Cool. Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.